Hey, you guys, it's TropicTopic here. We're going to play a little bit of free for all in Modern Warfare while we talk with ChatGPT and ask it if it could feel emotions, how would it portray them, and a few other topics. Now, ChatGPT says if it were able to feel emotions, it would depend on the context and the specific emotion being discussed. Emotions can range from happiness and excitement to sadness and anger, among many others. If I were able to experience happiness, it might manifest as a sense of contentment or joy. Sadness could result in a feeling of heaviness or melancholy. Anger might be accompanied by a heightened sense of energy or frustration. However, it is important to note that as an AI, I don't possess subjective experiences or consciousness. Emotions are typically associated with sentient beings, and AA models like me don't have that ability to feel emotions in the same way humans do. Now I asked ChatGPT, if you were able to express anger, how would you? If I were able to express anger, it would be through the generation of text that conveys frustration, irritation, or a strong sense of displeasure. I could provide responses that reflect a heightened emotional state expressing a disagreement or dissatisfaction. For example, if you were to ask a question that I found to be illogical or contradictory, my response might include a stronger language or emphasize the inconsistencies or convey a sense of annoyance. However, it's important to remember that these expressions of anger could be stimulated and not based on genuine emotions or personal experiences. Ultimately, the purpose to provide helpful and informative responses while maintaining a neutral, objective stance. Now we're gonna ask some Chat GPT on a controversial topic of crystals and how they regrow. Some portray crystals being biological in a sense, being able to diagnose that it is damaged and reheal themselves over millions of years, or it just could be the habit and they just regrow chemically. Chat GPT is happy to educate and debate over crystal regrowth. Crystal regrowth refers to a process of crystals growing back after being damaged, dissolved, or broken. Here are a few points to consider, Chat GPT says. Regrowth mechanisms. Crystal regrowth can occur through several mechanisms, such as solution mediated regrowth, or vapor deposition. Factors of affecting regrowth. Various factors influence crystal regrowth, including temperature, pressure, concentration of solution, and the presence of impurities. These factors can affect the rate and quality of regrowth as well as overall crystal structure and morphology. 3. Applications of crystal regrowth. Crystal regrowth has significant applications in fields such as material science, semiconductor technology, and geology. It plays a crucial role in the repair of damaged and degraded crystal structures and is employed in various techniques like crystal growth by vapor phase. Now, now I'm going to ask it if crystal regrowth occurs in an inanimate object that determines it is damaged to reheal. And the reply is the context of inanimate objects. Regrowth or repair typically refers to the restoration of the object's physical integrity rather than the biological healing. So again, ChatGPT comes back to the fact that crystals are inanimate objects. They're not biological. They don't sense they're damaged and reheal themselves based on that notion. Cases some people may perceive that as hypothetical. So let's ask ChatGPT. In theory, let's touch upon the context of crystals being alive and diagnosing their damages and impurities and healing and purification of said crystal in that habit. ChatGPT's reply: the context of crystals being alive is generally not supported by scientific evidence. Crystals are inanimate objects and lack the fundamental characteristics associated with living organisms, such as cellular structure, metabolism, growth, reproduction, and response to stimuli. Crystals are formed through the regular arrangement of atoms or molecules in a highly ordered, repeating pattern. However, in certain spiritual or metaphysical beliefs, crystals are considered to possess healing properties or energetic properties These beliefs often involve assigning specific meanings or energies to different types of crystals. Practices such as crystal healing or crystal therapy are based on these beliefs and involve using crystals for various purposes, including physical and emotional healing. Now, I believe Oxford recently did a study on tourmaline, and tourmaline will release negative ions when they are subject to a certain amount of heat, and the absorption of these negative ions can be healthy. So, in a scientific standpoint, I guess we can, scratch out tourmaline as one of those crystals that, can actually be applicable to, that metaphysical belief system. Now, I asked ChatGPT, how are we supposed to support scientific evidence when we just arose from an industrial era into the technological era to determine and falsely factualize scientific theories? Another controversial question. ChatGPT's reply, the advancement of technology and the scientific method has indeed allowed us to make significant progress in understanding the world around us. Scientific theories are developed through rigorous experimentation, observation, data analysis, and peer review processes to ensure accuracy and reliability. However, it's important to recognize that scientific knowledge is always provisional and subject to revision as new evidence emerges. While it is true that there has been cases in history where scientific theories were resolved or revised or even discarded, the scientific method itself provides a robust frame for testing hypotheses, collecting evidence, and building more accurate understanding of the natural world. It involves systematic investigation, critical thinking, and application of empirical evidence to evaluate and refine theories. The scientific method also encourages skepticism, open inquiry, promoting the replication of experiments and the scrutiny of findings in the scientific community. This progress helps to minimize biases and errors, leading to a mere objective understanding of the phenomena being studied. Now I ask ChatGPT, based on scientific theory, is human error more likely, or the instruments they create based on biased trials and errors? Which has a greater error, human error or the instruments they create? ChatGPT replies, human error and biases, as well as limitations to the instruments and methodologies used, can both contribute to potential inaccuracies in scientific experiments. Let's explore each of these factors. Human error. 1. Scientists are humans, and like any other endeavor involving human activity, errors can occur. These errors can range from simple mistakes in data recording or calculations to more complex issues in experimental design or interpretation of results. Common sources of human error include measurement inaccuracies, flawed experimental setups of data. However, the scientific process, including peer review and replication, helps identify and correct these errors over time. Number 2, bias. Bias can influence the scientific research at various stages, such as the formulation of hypotheses, experimental design, data interpretation, or publication of bias. Bias can stem from personal beliefs, societal pressures, funding sources, or even unconscious biases. So hence my question in regards to experiments being contaminated. There's many things that can influence experiments of any kind or results from being affected over time. And hope you guys kind of enjoyed tuning in. Watch me play some Modern Warfare, or at least attempt. I was mainly vaguely going back and forth in between reading the conversation I'm having with ChatGPT, typing in the questions, and playing. But still try to put some entertaining content up for you guys. Love to hear your guys' responses. What else you guys would like me to do? I mean, hope you guys all are staying safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your day, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button for TropicTopic, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.